that is gonna be like, and I've been waiting for it. Oh my life. Hello, people of the internet. I'm Heaven. I also have a glare in my glasses, so hello everybody. You can probably tell by everything that this is my first YouTube video. I went back and forth and I was like, should I have an intro? Should I make it uncomfortably awkward? Like, hi, I'm I don't want to do any of that, so I figured the best way would be to just hello. If you guys really want to know, I made a poll and I was like, tipsy painting or clothing haul, and it was kind of like midway. So I threw both of those ideas out and now I'm here. So, but I will say, the shirt I am wearing right now, this little boo spooky Halloweeny thing, if you guys want to see what it looks like the rest, I will be posting a Walmart fall haul after this video, and the purpose of this video is to get ready for that video. So I'm here, we're ready, I guess. I really couldn't think of like the best idea. I was like, all these beauty gurus just talk and do their makeup, and I'm terrible at makeup. So what's the great idea to do? Makeup. So I figured we can just talk and you guys can watch me put 3 products on my face because that's all I use. But yeah, so I also want to make I want to make an announcement that I have a glare here because Heaven didn't pay the extra for the non-glare. I also didn't pay for contacts. So when I take these bad boys off, I can't see a thing. So it's gonna be fun. I really don't use that many products, if I'm being honest with you. But if you guys really want to know, I'm using
Maybelline Fit Me
Matte Poreless. I don't know what that means. I'm terrible at being a human. I'm terrible at being a female. And it's just a part of me. But yeah, everybody, Corona's still a thing. And it's October. And normally, I'm very excited about October because I'm like, spooky things and Halloween Horror Nights. And the only thing that I still have this year is Hocus Pocus, thanks to Disney Plus. So thank you, Disney Plus. But other than that, it's a sad, sad world for me this year because I love the holidays, this one specifically, but there's more important things in the world to worry about other than my favorite thing to do every year. But yeah, with that being said, I figured, why not tell you guys some ghost stories or something, you know? As much as I love Halloween, you would think I wouldn't because I've had some scary shit happen to me growing up. I did live in a haunted house. I know some people are like, it's not haunted, and I'm like, yeah, the fuck it is, and they're like, no, it's fucking not, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't convince you, but I'm still up at 3 a.m. scared for my life. So I have like 3,000 stories I could tell you, but let's just start with one. Let me just...
Do I look like trash? Yeah.
I literally use 3 foundations. And then I'm like, all right, everybody, I'm ready. And they're like, are you sure you don't want to go back in the bathroom and do something else? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, go back in the bathroom, you need to go back in the bathroom. So I figured, let me tell you a story of the haunted road my family still lives on, but I don't live on because I was like, fuck that, you guys can have that. Basically, a little, if I can think about this properly. So, my family lives here, this road is here, there's only 2 other houses on this road, scary, nobody likes that, and it's a dead-end road. So, a little backstory of this road is that There's a story, I guess you can find it in a really old newspaper, but I couldn't get that newspaper because I continue to be garbage at doing anything other than sleeping. So there was two couples driving down at the end of this road, and according to the stories that all my neighbors tell me, they're going to some dance, something, driving, having a good time. Whatever, we're having a good time. Dead, flip on this bridge, drown, die. Very sad story. So that happened, but now if you go down to the end of the road, that bridge isn't there because they were like, that causes death. So we're gonna take that out, we're gonna put a gate, and then we're just gonna not talk about it. And whenever you guys are seeing shit for the rest of your life, we're not gonna talk about your trauma. So I had family in town that's from up north. We were like, they knew of the stories, they were scared, but we were like, we're gonna take you and it's gonna be fun. And they were like, okay. And basically we were trying to scare my cousin's boyfriend. I'm just gonna say random name, just keep it private, I guess, you know, not like they're not gonna see this video. Basically, we're gonna call my cousin Rebecca. Her boyfriend Steve was terrified of ghosts. So Rebecca, Steve, and my uncle and my brother, we all decided to take them all down to the end of the road. So we're having a good time, ha ha ha, it's dark as fuck. We have no streetlights. I should probably add that part in as well. Hold up. Cut. Okay, I really can't see a thing, so you guys can just judge me for it later. And I'm so sorry, I keep looking away from the camera because I'm not good at anything. We take them down, and it's a really long road. Take them down, and my uncle is always like, he's the one to laugh at stuff. Nothing really happens to him, whereas like my dad, like everything happens to. Like my uncle could be like, yeah, f you ghost, and then my dad gets like scratched. That's basically a good scenario to tell you guys. So he's laughing, quah, and is starting to mess with my brother and like grab his ankles and like whatever. I will start off by saying, you're going down there, and us girls were like, y'all don't feel that shit? Like, nobody's gonna talk about how I can't breathe right now, and nobody's gonna talk about the fact that you literally feel like someone's like. We continue to go, and he's being funny, haha, and we get all the way at the end of the fantastic road. We hear some stuff moving around, but I was like, it could be a raccoon, let me debunk, when in reality I'm like, anybody want to go home? Anybody want to go? We get down to the end of the road. Before I continue, this isn't even a makeup haul. It's just me holding makeup products, making you guys listen to me.
I'm so sorry.
So we go down, and we hear some stuff moving around, and we're like, whatever. Well, at this point, everybody's still like joking around and not mocking the spirits, okay? We're not mocking. We're just laughing to ourselves, I guess. We like start coming back this way just a little bit. And my uncle and my brother are like, what the fuck was that? And we're like, wait, what happened? And next thing you know, they're like, oh, like they heard like running behind them. And where that road is that like people do walk along, like there's like they walk, like there's a way for humans to walk back there. So we're like, we still have to keep an eye out because we don't want to get murdered by a serial killer. So we do that, and they're like, yeah, I heard something run behind us, and we're like, we should go back. And they're laughing still because they like don't really take it serious. So we continue to walk back. I want to leave. Everybody wants to leave. So right after that, Rebecca was like, I'm leaving. I'm having a panic attack. We gotta go. So she's gone. She's safe. She had a good idea. We all should have just listened to her. And when we're walking back, we're like, okay, like, let's turn on our flashlights, because at this point we didn't have anything on. So we all put out our phones and we're like, we're gonna put this here. And as we're walking, you just see a fucking whoop right across our flashlights. And we were like, anybody want to talk about that? No? Okay. I'm acting like everything's okay. Like, how I'm telling this story right now is not how I felt on the inside. The inside, like, or no, reverse. The outside, I'm like, hey guys, it's gonna be fine. We're fine. When in reality, I'm literally like, can we leave? Can we go? I'm gonna have a panic attack. Should we go home? No, because home's even worse. Home's haunted. I'm just gonna die. So, oh, and now I'm using Better Skin Concealer by Maybelline.
I am terrible at making
And the only reason, I just want to acknowledge that I only cover my dark circles because people are like,
You know you have dark circles?
Thank you, Jessica. I didn't know that. I needed to know that. But so yeah, so we're coming back. We're creeped out. We see that thing, and we're like, it had to be like, we're just tripping. At this point, my one cousin, her boyfriend had left. My aunt and my dad are at the house with them. So it's just me, my uncle, my brother, and my other cousin. We're gonna call her Haley. Haley, me and her are like, yo, what the f***? We gotta get out of here. And so as we're walking back, and I'm just like, oh God, thank God we're leaving. I see a figure, okay? There's no lights on the street, people. But there's a light on the other side, across the street, if that makes sense. And that little tiny light that they gave us as children, you can see if something's, passing by or whatever. So I see this figure, and in my mind, I'm like, it's probably my dad, because I'm trying not to be paranoid more than I already am. And I see it coming down, and I'm like, okay. It gets closer and closer. And one figure turns into two, like popsicle stick. And it's just like, and I see it coming, and I'm like, anybody else see that? And they were like, yeah, I see that. And I was like, okay, it has to be Steve and my dad trying to scare us, and they're gonna, So they keep walking, and Steve, what we think is Steve, just goes into the bushes. And I'm like, and it looks like slow motion almost, if that makes sense, but it was very fast. I don't really know how to explain it. You had to see it for yourself, I guess. I see them, and I'm like, haha, funny, Steve. You can jump out now. And, Steve wasn't Steve. So my dad comes up, and I'm like, hey, I know what you're doing. I know what the fuck's going on. You're not gonna fucking scare me. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, there's the guy. He's in the trees. And guys, it wasn't anybody of my family. Don't know who it was, but there was this dark figure that just ran into the abyss, and we had no explanation of it. So I was like, perfect. I really couldn't. The fact that I can't tell if this looks terrible or not, let me know down in the comments if it's weird that I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking over here, but some people have a mirror, but I'm using my camera as a mirror. I don't really know what I'm doing, but guys, we're gonna figure out. Like, I'm literally just rubbing everything. Like, it could be blush, and I'm like, same brush. I'm gonna look good. I look the same. You guys are gonna be like, this bitch looks like, surprise, I was the ghost. I put foundation on. I just want to be pale, but like not too pale, like flushed, just like enough. Anyway, so at this point, we're back at the house because everybody is like ready to shit their pants at this point. We had a little little setup in our living room because we didn't have couches at the time. So we were like, this is a great idea. Air mattress for everybody. We'll put the parents in the rooms. We have rooms, by the way, but we put them in there. But we had a bunch of like kids, so we were like, let's all sleep in the living room. By the way, the living room has no curtains, and the windows are f***ing big, okay? So you can just walk on by and be like, oh, you're naked? Okay. Oh, you're alone? Okay. Oh, I can kill you in your sleep and you wouldn't even know. So we're laying there, and you can tell that my family's like, why the f*** did we come here? We should have went somewhere else. And we all decide to lay down, clearly, because it's late and as humans we have to sleep. But me, I feel like I'm on fire at this point. And we all got this sense of like, shouldn't have gone down there. That was a bad idea. And it was a bad fucking idea. I dropped it. So we all have that feeling of like, we shouldn't have gone down there. So at this point, we're laying down. I feel like I'm on fire, but I don't say anything because I'm like, I don't want to freak anybody out. Time for powder. I am giving you guys major anxiety. I know. I'm so sorry. They're gonna flag me on here just because of how much anxiety I'm gonna give people on the internet. Look, same brush. When you guys are like, I've always thought if someone's like, what's your makeup routine? What's your skincare? I'm like, I use this, and then I use Dove body wash. And that's it. Back to the story. I don't know if everybody else is creeped out. I think they are. I'm assuming so. We didn't really talk about it. Just like every other trauma, we're like, anything with the ghost trauma in our family, we're like, let's just not even bring it up until 20 years later when we're all scared and I still sleep with a blanket over my head like this, and I just keep my mouth out because I need to breathe, and I also hate the dark. So keep losing my train of thought. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the fact that air mattresses are all, this is the ground, this is the ground, okay? We're all sleeping here. Well, where Steve and Rebecca were sleeping, they were by the stairs, okay? There's a ledge, and then here's them. So the ledge is above Steve at this point, and I guess like it was really late, and I had finally fallen asleep after sweating because I literally was like, I'm not getting under these, like, these covers are staying on me because the ghost, like, why do I even think that just covering myself with a blanket, the ghost is gonna be like,
She's good. I won't attack her. She'll be fine.
like, no, that shit's gonna be like, whoosh, and I've been waiting for it. So at this point, I probably swallowed all the foundation powder. So at this point, we're all asleep, I'm assuming. And right as I get in that good, not scared sleep, you just hear, and I'm like, why? What could you want? What could you want?
I am exhausted.
What do you want? And she goes, Steve heard something. You gotta get up, turn the lights on, get the sage, bring the priest. And I'm like, okay, what? And because I'm just so out of it at this point, like so exhausted. I guess Steve was laying there, happily sleeping on his vacation. He heard like wet footprints walking along the living room, and he was like,
Hey, Rebecca, now you're sleeping. You're not gonna wake up. I'm gonna die.
so he was like, I'm not gonna pay attention to it, and he tries to go back to sleep. And I just want to acknowledge some people's gonna be like, heaven, like, and like wet footprints. You remember how I said they died in the water and they drowned, so they're wet, so that means they're walking and they're still wet?
Gross.
So they do that. He can't wake up my cousin. There's nothing, okay? So he's alone. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, that was my childhood too. I was like, hey mom, dad, there's somebody in my closet.
You're just a kid, sweetie. Go back to bed.
Mom, dad, there's somebody in my closet.
It's fine.
Meanwhile, they're seeing the person in my closet when I'm not home and just not telling me because they know I'm gonna be scared. Look, using the same brush. So after that, I guess he tried to go to sleep, and next thing you know, it said, you're gonna fucking pay attention to me, bitch, because I'm a ghost and you're not. And I guess he was laying just sound asleep, and he felt this energy like go over the ledge and just like on his face. And I guess it whispered something to him. I don't want to tell you what it whispered because I can't remember what it whispered, and I don't want to tell you a fake story. So we're just gonna say it's between him, that ghost, and
Jesus.
so he hears that, and that's what caused him to go,
Wake the fuck up.
until he opened his eyes when my cousin was awake, and both Rebecca and Steve were like,
Kevin, wake up. You wanna die with us?
you could have just left me sound asleep because y'all are together, y'all are a couple, you could have figured it out yourselves, but you know what, I'm a good family member. So the rest of the night, we stay up. We ain't sleeping. No one needs sleep. I'm scared, they're scared, so we stay up until probably like 8 in the morning. The next morning, we're all going to the beach. Okay, so we're like, we're gonna have a good time, we're not gonna talk about last night. And Steve goes into the bathroom to shower, and he comes out and he's like, did one of you guys flush the toilet when I was in the bathroom and shut the door and leave? And Rebecca goes, no honey, I didn't. And then I come over and I'm like, no Steve, I didn't. And everybody else was like, nope. And guess what we did, guys? We didn't talk about it. So then, right before we leave, this is daytime, people, daytime, like the ghosts don't sleep, like the ghosts don't give a about doing anything other than terrorizing us. After that, we have the door that we have at my family's house. It's heavy, okay? Like, once you push that bitch ain't moving, all right? She is in.
She is silent. She is tight.
Well, she was looking a little loose in that scenario because all of a sudden, we're all standing there with our little bags and our bikinis, and we're ready, and our glasses. And that door just goes and just opens in front of all of us. And there's no breeze, because guess what? It's Florida. In the summer, it's just hot. And I'm like, still looking at my dad like, are you sure you don't want to move out today? And we went on with our beach trip. And yeah, guys, so you felt like shit. You felt like someone was all over you. It was a terrible experience. And no one, like, if you ever have a haunted house, don't invite family over. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to go well. I can't wait for people to go crazy. And they're going to be like, your makeup fucking sucks. Your story is fake. And your
Eyebrows look like shit.
But yeah, guys, I really can't see a thing. They just get worse, you know? We've seen little girls, like we've heard little girls crying. My dad has gotten scratches before, which is not a ghost. I would say personally, that sounds like
A demon.
I'm sorry for the anxiety that I'm giving you guys, but this is my makeup. This is it. This is me. I'm simple. Like this is me trying. Like, I'm okay with this. I am completely fine with just going out and living my life just like this. But yeah, I hope you guys like this story. But if you guys want to hear any other scary stories, I have thousands of them. So if you guys like this video,
You know what to do.
If you hated it, I don't really know what to say. This was fun. Just let me know if you guys want to hear another story or you have suggestions. Just check out the next video, please. And